I've been asked to lead a prayer, and I'm almost going to do that. So since I'm almost going to do it, if you'll say amen at the end, I'd appreciate it. You may be aware that we have a Jewish Democratic Socialist running for president. I'm going to read from two Jewish socialists. They weren't Democratic Socialists, they were prophets. They were prophets of Israel. And they make it clear that there comes a time when you need to get up off your knees and do something. And that's what we're asking Bernie Sanders to do. Let me read first from the book of Amos. He was a prophet from the 8th century BC, a long time ago. This is what he thinks about people who are very religious but not very just. I despise your religious festivals. Your assemblies are a stench to me. Even though you bring me burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will have no regard for them. Though you bring choice fellowship, I will not accept it. Away from the noise, with the noise of your songs, I will not listen to the music of your harps. But let justice roll down like a river, and righteousness like a never-failing stream. Those of you who are old enough may remember that Lyndon Johnson used to read this passage when he passed a bill having to do with civil rights or social justice. Amos doesn't think that being religious quite gets the job done, especially when you don't turn around and do what you're called to do by the prophets of God. There's another prophet which is not quite as old. His name is Isaiah. And Isaiah follows up this argument by Amos with these words. Is it not the kind of fasting that I have chosen? They fasted all the time. But he figured that they needed to quit fasting for a while and do something that he wanted them to do. Is this not the fasting that I have chosen? To loose the chains of injustice, to unite or to untie the cords of the yoke, and set the oppressed free, break every yoke? Is it not to share your food with the hungry, to provide the poor wanderer with shelter? When you see the naked, to clothe them, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn. Your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, I'm here. If you do away with the yoke of oppression, if you spend yourself in behalf of the hungry, if you spend yourself satisfying the needs of the oppressed, if you shine your light in darkness, and your day shall become like noonday. And finally, the same prophet Isaiah, the Spirit of the sovereign Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and release from the darkness of the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, provide those who grieve in Zion, bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, a garment of praise instead of beard of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord, for the display of his splendor. Rebuild the ancient ruins, restore the places long devastated. Now, as Bernie would say, I want to make this perfectly clear. Bernie is not the Messiah. He's not supposed to be the Messiah. There's another guy who claims to be the Messiah in this race, and I'm praying that he will lose in Texas. But even though he's not the Messiah, he is in the tradition of the prophets of Israel, and we're appreciative for his being in that tradition. And we hope that he will succeed in bringing justice to our country. Amen. You can now say amen. Amen.